My dad is my best friend. Like, I know other people say that, but he is my best friend. He's the first person I ring in the morning, say goodnight to. If I have any problems, I go to him. I know he's always going to be there, like, as he always has done, really. I've never known actually anyone as strong and as brave as he is, really. When I was 3 years old, my dad had a fall from height, fell off a ladder at work, doing something he shouldn't have been doing. And he's spent the rest of his life since in a wheelchair. He didn't fall very high, he only fell 10 feet. So to a lot of people, they think, oh, they don't actually think that's, in relative terms, that's not a very big height to fall, but it had dramatic impact on Dad, and here we are today. As a child, I can remember visiting Dad in and out of hospital. I'm missing him, but not really understanding what was really happening. And to me, Dad had always been in a wheelchair, because I can't really remember him not being. So all my holidays I used to go with my grandparents. So Dad, just because it was harder for him getting on the plane and getting there, obviously with all his medical, what he needed to take with him and how he sort of survived day to day. So he missed out on all those memories that we had as children. And even the little things of learning to ride a bike and playing football and anything like that. Dad, we didn't do that with Dad, we did it with our close family, really. I think it definitely affected me when I was younger. I was very shy. I was quite a quiet child. Not that sociable. When I was on holiday, I used to get told off because I'd just sort of sit with Dad. I didn't want to go and play, and I think that was quite a lot of the emotional effect it had obviously had on me indirectly. But it's had an emotional effect on everyone. I think everyone still breaks down if they fully think about it, or if Dad still has personal problems.
January 3rd, 1993, I was 24 years old. I was married. I had 2 children. At the time, I was working as a roofing labourer on a construction site. I wasn't a roofer by trade, and I was asked to go up a ladder that was untied. A lack of confidence about speaking up, I'm not sure, but I went up the ladder, and actually when I came down the ladder, still unfooted, I slipped and I fell. As my accident was 26 years ago, I think things were a lot different back then. You know, the awareness to safety and the equipment available. But these accidents are happening today, and it's not just the individual it affects, it's also the family.
I always have to think about Dad's chair and his situation. So even little things like parents' evening when I was at school, I had to liaise with the teachers to be always on the ground level of the floor, because obviously he couldn't get up the stairs. And schools when I was at school, none of them were adapted. Obviously they're better now, but I remember preparing for my wedding day. We had to make sure the venue was suitable for Dad. He could get around all the venue. And then him having to walk me down the aisle, like, we didn't really know how it was going to work. It's one of the biggest moments in any dad's life, I think, and daughter's life. It's a big part of the day. And he had to wheel me down the aisle. So we made it work, but he was wheeling on my dress quite a lot of the time. But we held it together. And then later that night, we had Ceilidh dancing, which is like Scottish high-tempo dancing. But he couldn't be part of that. He had to sit at the side and watch all his family and close friends do that. So in our wedding album, he's not actually part of that moment, which is really upsetting, but that's something we all have to emotionally deal with all the time. It's always tough. Like, I find it quite hard to talk about it most of the time because I just get so upset. In terms of care for my dad, he's quite strong-willed and independent, so he never really wanted nurses or anyone to help out, which I think would have been advised, but us as a family have always done that for him, so picking up his prescriptions, making sure he's got everything medically, making sure all our houses are adapted, so ramps to the house. So obviously it all costs money and it's not always the fastest process.
For years I was angry, but today it's more of guilt, you know, realising the effect I've had on my family and my friends through something I did at work.
I have a young daughter, she's just turned 2. She's the best thing that's ever happened to me. But straight away, with Dad's situation, it brings it back down to like everything that's happened and still happening. Just literally everyday stuff. So I still like to go on nights out with my friends. Lucky enough we've got grandparents to help out, but I find it hard that I can't ask my dad to look after her. So it's always my mum or my other half's parents, and it's just due to his balance in his chair. I know he can't pick her up and he can't do the things that I need him to do to be able to care for her. And even that when we come round and she runs to her granddad and she wants him to pick her up and he can't. It upsets me when I know my dad's upset. So in the summer we went to the beach for the day with my parents-in-law and my other half, and we went on the beach, but Dad had to sit on the promenade and watch us on the beach with her other granddad, and there, I don't know how I don't get upset. I think I don't want to upset him, so I sort of bottle it up. But deep down, yeah, it's heartbreaking because it's just, it's only going to get worse. She's going to grow up and have a prom and a wedding day as same, and he's going to have to do it again and again. Anybody that uses ladders or work from height, they need to just get a grip with ladder safety. They need to do it for themselves firstly, but it's for us at home. Like, if you don't have the strength or bravery or whatever it is just to say to your supervisor or your colleague, I'm not happy with this, I'm not doing it, then you're willing to risk your health, your well-being, your life even. But actually it's your friends and family at home that have to pick up the pieces. We're the ones that have to live with it and help you. So, I mean, I'm nearly 29 and I'm still emotionally affected by something that happened 26 years ago.